personal for me to tell you, hey, Ryan, I love you, but we can't kick it no more, dog. I'm on this path and you on that path. Maybe the family. It may be the homie. It may be mama. It may be daddy. It may be whoever it is, but we have to make it the ultimate decision to know that we got to carry this baggage and we got to do all of this work, so we need to make sure that our circle is right, starting with us first. It's not personal for me to tell you, hey, Ryan, I love you, but we can't kick it no more, dog. I'm on this path and you on that path. Maybe the family. It may be the homie. It may be mama. It may be daddy. It may be whoever it is, but we have to make it the ultimate decision to know that we got to carry this baggage and we got to do all of this work, so we need to make sure that our circle is right, starting with us first.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. As the word says in Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And all you're getting, get understanding. I am a host, Toya V, and the man of the hour. I haven't seen him in 10 years. My love
Oh, that's good.
is Sean Mcmillion,
So,
aka
Sean Penn,
Sean.
it's your son.
And all I have to say is this is just for you.
Let's go.
Oh my God, we go way back. Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna go ahead and um listen to his topic. Y'all on YouTube, y'all have already heard it. So I'm just gonna play it for where did it go? Oh, I'm gonna play it for those on Instagram.
It's me to tell you, hey, Ryan, I love you, but we can't kick it no more, dog. I'm on this path and you on that path. Maybe the family. It may be the homie. It may be mama. It may be daddy. It may be whoever it is, but we have to make it the ultimate decision to know that we got to carry this baggage and we got to do all of this work, so we need to make sure that our circle is right, starting with us first. It's not personal for me to tell you, hey, Ryan, I love you, but we can't kick it no more, dog. I'm on this path and you on that path. Maybe the family. It may be the homie. It may be mama. It may be daddy. It may be whoever it is, but we have to make it the ultimate decision to know that we got to carry this baggage and we got to do all of this work, so we need to make sure that our circle is right, starting with us first.
Okay.
That's a
What?
word. It's a word right
That's a
there.
word. He was preaching. He was preaching right there. He's preaching. So out of all the topics that I gave you, what made you choose this one?
Um, that the topic that when you sent me that, it resonated with me because I believe that when you are in the space of wanting to grow and wanting to evolve, um, a lot of times it is your circle that can hold you back from actually seeing the manifestation of that. And I'm experiencing that in this moment, in this present time, where I'm feeling like I want to go to another level, and not just in my career, not just in the music stuff, like as a human being. And I don't want to keep blocking my blessings by the company that I keep. So like, that kind of resonated heavy with me. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's something I would definitely want to talk about.
And do you feel like a lot of just people in general, they take everything personal. They like internalize like a lot of things for like no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been on that other side of it. I've been on the side of, you know, thinking that just because a person now has grown apart from me, that I had no value in their life, or you feel expendable, you feel neglected, left behind. I've been in those spaces, and then I've been on the other side of it, of like finding success in my career, and people not understanding that in order to get to that level of success, I had to go into this cocoon. I had to kind of grow and shift in that space. Is a caterpillar goes in a cocoon by himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a space where sometimes it's like yeah, people that used to kick it with and hang with and laugh with and go out with is like, yeah, I'm not on that. I'm on a whole nother,
Whole
um,
nother level.
yeah, whole nother level. There it is. So, um, yeah, I have a deep understanding for it from both sides of it. It's very important to not take things personal.
Mhm,
Everything isn't, especially in other people's lives. The things
mhm.
you can control, okay, you can take personally, but other people, you can't take other people's decisions personally. You can't allow their decisions to make you feel like it was about you.
Right.
They have a whole path and a journey they have to live all by themselves.
I feel like a lot of times people do that, like you said, is because they feel like you don't value them. Because if you valued me, you wouldn't leave me. And I feel like a lot of times that has to do with abandonment issues as well.
Absolutely. That was one of the most, I guess, pivotal moments in my life when I started therapy. I was in my 30s and I started therapy because I had a traumatic experience, had a near death experience, and I came out and I had what I thought was like anxiety, which I had never experienced. And I have friends and clients I work with that, oh, I have anxiety. I'm like, I thought anxiety was like,
Something
wasn't
they make up.
wasn't like you just don't want to be around people.
Right.
Then I started to realize like no, anxiety, like I was having real out panic attacks, um, anxiety attacks, and I didn't understand what was going on. And when I went to therapy, I discovered that it wasn't anxiety for me, it was
Mhm,
PTSD. I just went through a traumatic experience and I never
mhm,
really addressed it. Once I got deeper into therapy, we started kind of, diving into my life. And that was one of those things, I was 7 years old when my mother and my father was incarcerated.
mhm.
And, my grandmother raised me. I think she did a wonderful job. She raised me, she took me in at her retirement year
Oh, wow.
and took me in and raised me. And in that experience, because I wasn't lacking anything in terms of love, nurturing, attention, I was the only grandkid there. Like, I didn't address that I had abandonment issues with my parents.
Right.
So by the time I got old enough to rationalize what my parents, went to jail for, and by the time I got to rationalize that, I started to realize, like, yeah, I coped with it in a way that's like, okay, I understand. They were trying to give me a life that they didn't have. They were trying to, provide for their families, and I didn't look at it. I didn't take it personally, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't realize, my therapist was like, yes, that is the rationale of an adult, but the 7-year-old
Mhm.
having both of their parents ripped away at one time,
Mhm.
they're like, you never addressed that.
Right.
So I became a people collector. Like I had a
Wow.
lot of people that I just wouldn't let go. I felt like I couldn't abandon them,
Mhm.
and that became a problem for me because I went into this space where I felt like I had to help everyone. They call it survivor's remorse, right?
Mhm.
Like when something works out for you, then you feel bad for the people that things didn't work out for. So you're like,
Right.
I got to help them. And it's like, that isn't true.
So you ended up overcompensating in every area.
I held on to some friendships I didn't need to hold on to. They weren't great for me. They weren't beneficial to me.
Mhm.
Um, there are people that weren't that there were some people that just didn't want the best for me. Um, and that's a harsh reality when you realize some people in your life are just around just to make sure you don't do better than them.
That's crazy.
And it becomes
You gotta hit this.
it becomes a real thing. It becomes um a real thing when you're like, oh, you're only around me to keep tabs on me, and you don't want to see me grow.
Right.
And yeah, I had a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of really rich people in my life, and most of them have told me about this crossroad several times where they just get to a space where it's like everybody can't go to the next level with you.
Mm.
Some people can't go. Snoop Dogg said something in that clip you showed that when he talked about even family, that's the hard one.
Right. That you gotta step away. Because a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, I'm family. What you mean? You can't take me with you. Like we
That's
same blood."
oh man,
And
and then
yeah,
and you're gonna find out about and when you succeed in anything, you're gonna find out about more family members you never knew you had. I've had family members beef with me that I've never met. Like I've never met you in my life.
right. And they beefing with
And you're
you.
on my Instagram. Oh man, you ain't trying to look out for me. You ain't trying to like you just about yourself. It's like
That's
I don't
crazy.
know you. And I didn't have a cousin that pulled me into this. I didn't have a family member that opened up a door for me. So it does put you in that space of like, what do I owe you? Um, and that is, that is the thing. I took notes. I wrote notes for this because
Hmm.
there's this quote that says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It's by Jim Rohan, and that's something that I've heard before. Like you're the 5 people that you're around the most. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And naturally, I felt like, okay, well, I feel like that's a little vague, right? Because I'm like, some of my friends are awesome people. I think they're great people. I think they're, you know, great human beings, moral fiber, funny, all those things. And I was like, okay, I'm not mad at being that. But you also have to look at the ambition, the goals, the motivation, the inspiration of the people around you as well. Like,
Right.
what are they aiming towards? Are they in the same category of you as you? I mean, of you, like not like category like social status, but like talking about like I'm a dreamer, and I
Right.
feel like if you don't align yourself with other dreamers, then they're never gonna understand you.
Right.
But then on top of being a dreamer, I'm a doer. Some people are just dreamers
Yeah.
and they're flighty when it gets down to actually doing the things that they need to actually accomplish their dreams. And that's a discovery I had to make. I'll never forget one of my really best friends. Her name is Tyler Noel. She like this is around the time when I first decided like I would quit school. I'm in Miami, I'm doing music, and like I'm getting paid barely anything where I was working because I just wanted to be in that environment, and it wasn't
Right.
about that. I was blessed that I was even getting paid. And my mom would be like, "Oh, you need to give me money so that I can hold it for you, so that I can save things for you, and you need to do this, you need to do that." And I would do this,
Right.
and then I wouldn't have money to do simple stuff like pay my phone bill, you know what I'm saying, or take myself out and get Burger King. Like I was working but not having any money to do it. Like, and
Right.
my friend was telling me this. She was like, "Yeah, even your mom, you have to be able to tell your mom no."
Mm.
And that was a really hard. This is no success. This is like I'm talking about. I'm making $250 a week here. All right, this is
Right.
no.
Were you staying with your mother?
I was staying. I was no at the time. Well, I was at that moment. I was staying with my mom.
Okay. So that was probably why she was just like sending the money.
I only came back to stay with my mom because she was having heart issues.
Mm.
Right, because I was staying elsewhere, and so I was staying with her, and she was like, "Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this." And then every time I would do what she asked, she would move the goalpost.
Ooh.
Oh, you need to get a job. I got a job. You need to get another job. And now this other job, you're going to take that money and say, oh, okay, cool. When she did that, 2 days after that, I got my own space.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm not going to keep doing that because that's going to keep taking you out of focus. It takes you out of your goal
Right.
when the goalpost keeps moving. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now I got to work 2 jobs and chase my dream because you think that's the best decision for me. It's like, you don't know this field of work. I got to make the best decision for myself.
Right.
So that, family, that's a hard one. That's a tough pill to swallow because it's like, man, you don't want to tell your family No, right? Because you love them and you care about them. But in order to be able to be what you want to be for them, or be what you want to be for yourself, you're gonna have to be like, nah, you got to let me go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just got my toe in the door, and you want me to try to pull you and every.
Everybody else, yeah, crabs in a barrel.
It's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work out. And like I said, a lot of these millionaires that I've spoken to, they've had to express that to me. Like, yeah, some of their childhood friends and hate them because they had to decide like, this is the way I'm gonna go. And if I would stay around this person is gonna keep me restricted from actually reaching the success that I want. And that's a thing. And that's another thing. Like, so like Colin Powell said, a mirror reflects a man's face, but what he really is like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses.
Mm,
And that's also like a super important thing. Like, you can be guilty by association with certain people.
right. Because they'll look at you and they'll say, because I had a situation like that where my friend, we were trying to get, I wanted to give, I forgot what it was to the DJ. And I was like, yeah, I want to give something to the DJ. And she went to the bathroom or whatever like that. And I guess somebody hollered at her and she like, "Ugh, get off of me." Da 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 da.
Hmm.
So I finally made it to the DJ and he was just like, "Is that your girl?" And I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, nah, nah, nah." I said, "What? That's not me." He said, "Birds of a feather flock together."
And that's
And I said, "You cannot go nowhere else with me. You cannot."
that happens. It's more common than not. And sometimes it's not even anything that I said it's not, sometimes it's not personal. It's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you have friends that, like, I have friends that, were really active in the streets, really active in that life, and it's like, cool. It was cool when I had my own studio and they can come up, they can pull up, they can smoke, they can do all the things they like to do, and it's never going to be any judgment.
But you can't do this here.
But when I started working at Betty Wright's house, she's an evangelist, she's a woman of God. You can't come here. It's not personal. It's no
Right.
judgment. I want you to be happy and live your life and do all the things that you love to do, but this isn't the environment for that.
Right.
And me bringing a person to my environment could change everything, because you come in the house smelling like weed smoke. Now this lady feel like I'm bringing people in her house
Right.
smelling like weed, or I'm smoking weed. It can't that can't fly. So you have to be very aware of like the people that you're associated with, and it does matter, and it matters in all facets of things, because even like I'm a person that when I'm around like people that I care about, if I see people see things that people will pass judgment on, I try to
Mhm.
cover them. So if I see like, oh man, they don't really have nice shoes, like I'm a person to be like,
Let
oh
me
yeah,
get you some
let
shoes.
me get some shoes, or I got some shoes I don't really rock with, like, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, he brought somebody in here with, and because people are paying attention like that, and especially in entertainment,
Yes, yes,
it's
they are.
they're paying attention. It's very superficial. People are definitely looking at what you have on. They're smelling your cologne. They're looking at your shoes. They're looking at your
Mhm.
jewelry. They're looking at
Mhm.
everything, and they're passing judgment on you. Like,
Very superficial.
they're gauging your success off that, and that's a cultural thing. Unfortunately, it's not like that across all cultures. Um, but that's a thing, especially in the Black and brown community. That's a thing. Like, what you have on, all those things equate to people. That's how people calculate success.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so I always try to get ahead of that with people that are around me. But again, it's like those things are not sustainable all the time.
Right. They're not. They're not because some people will go into debt just to give the image that they got everything together. Like you have people who have like these nice cars at 70, 80, 90, 150 grand and they live in apartments. feels like you got your priorities mixed up. But I know
Absolutely.
that, like you said, in our culture, status is everything. You know what I mean? Status is
The
everything.
look is everything.
Look is everything. How many baddies you got is everything is it's flashy, but people don't realize that, like, the real millionaires and stuff, the people who got long money,
You never know.
you'll never know.
You'll never know.
They'll be right next to you in
Wrangler jeans, K-Swiss shoes, regular
right
T-shirt.
Vans, you know what
You
I'm
know,
saying? Or they'll be right there at Starbucks, and you will not know that it's the person that owns 5
locations.
Starbucks. Yeah, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And they're just sitting there just watching people. Like, I remember one guy, he was telling me that he still works at not works at, but he still um shops at Walmart. And he said, just because I have millions does not mean that I don't want to save.
Absolutely.
And people think that. He was just like, all of that. I think he had like a very old, like, custom car, because I'm into, like, I'm into
Antiques.
custom
Yeah.
antique cars. And he says, I only pull that out on Sundays, but I ride a Prius, because we was in LA at the time, and I was working on Universal Studio production line. And he says, I drive a Prius. And he like, on the weekends, I'll take out my, or special events, I'll take out my car. But he's like, I only have like 3 cars. He's like, I don't understand why, no disrespect, but the rappers and stuff, like, why do you need a different car for each day of the week? He's like, I don't understand that, because it's like, once you take it all off the lot, it
It
depreciates.
loses value. The soon as you pull out.
And it's just like, why don't you, like, take that money and invest it, in things that can make you money? So it's interesting how we go about life, because other cultures, I say other cultures, they do, but just not as the flashiness that,
Yeah.
Black people.
Yeah. I mean, it's different cultures flex different. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? And, real estate is a flex. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your children's success is a flex. Oh, like, everybody in my family's doctors. That's
right,
how they flex.
basically.
Everybody has a different way. And culturally, just in the black culture, most of us don't come from much.
Right,
So when we get a chance to get a little bit of something, it's like we want to feel like we want to feel like somebody, and
hmm
sometimes those things make us. And it's programming. It's not anybody's fault with that. But what I've learned is that it's barely sustainable for you as a person. So imagine when you're trying to sustain it for other people.
right.
When you're trying to, like, keeping it real, right? Like when you're a rapper, like, oh yeah, you got to have your whole team need Rolexes, your whole team need nice cars, and it's like you're not even in a financial place where it's sustainable.
Right. You just got this contract.
Right. And when people look at you, when people want to do business with you, you think they'll look at that like, oh man, he's loyal. Look what he does. But they look at it like, man, he has a lot of liabilities.
Mhm.
And it actually could scare people off.
Right.
And it gets you in that same space. That same space of like, you got to watch the company you keep because people are watching the company you keep.
Exactly. And it's just and it's crazy to me, because I feel like, well, I'll say this. Do you feel like men deal with that more because of women?
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I don't want no offense to be taken to this, but I do feel like you see a lot more loyalty in masculine circles than you do with women, right?
Hmm.
Like some girls have a best friend forever. Some girls have a best friend every 3 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's usually some kind of conflict of passionate bunch of people. Sometimes there's going to be clashes of that, whatever, right?
Hmm.
Whereas men can fist fight and be like,
All right.
"You're my friend," but I didn't. You needed to get that whooping. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times men put a lot of pressure on themselves to be there for people because black men go through so much. So like, like August Alsina is one of the primary artists that I work with. Like, he lost his brother the same year I lost my best friend.
Mm.
So there becomes this protectiveness that men tend to have with other men, where it's like, I don't want to see you down bad. I don't want to see you put yourself in a position where you're in danger. You know what I'm saying? My friend Kenneth wasn't. We weren't street kids. We didn't grow up in the streets. We from our hoods, but we ain't grew up.
Right.
We weren't street people. You know what I'm saying? So for him to die to gun violence, it's like extreme. And so that makes you look at your other friends like, oh man, we got to make sure that and it puts a lot of pressure and responsibility on you that, it's really unfair because, you can't, some things just happen how they happen. It's not something that you can plan for or prevent, you know what I mean? But a lot of times I feel like black men put a lot of pressure on us men in general. I won't say only we make it just a black man thing. I think men in general put a lot of pressure to make sure that their friends
Are good.
are good. You know what I'm saying? Where a girl would be like, where your money at? A girl would tell you quick, like, we're going to dinner, bring your money. You know what I mean? And men like to be like, I got you, man. I bought you lunch, I bought you dinner today. Like, it's just culturally that. Of course, there's exceptions to all those rules, but it is definitely a lot of pressure. Men do carry that pressure of just wanting to make sure that their homies are good, their friends are good, and trying to take them with them everywhere. When it's not feasible all the time.
It's not. And you end up running out of money quicker than you normally are because
Absolutely.
it's like, oh, when I get it, I'm gonna have to buy my mama a car. I'm gonna have to buy my brother a car. I gotta pay these bills off for this.
That's a
You
true.
gotta just
That's,
yes.
my first check I got, my first publishing check I got, I bought my mom a car before I bought myself a car.
Mm,
When I was when I had when I had my first number one record on the radio, I had an eviction notice on my door
wow.
because everybody thinks, oh, the money happens right away. No, that money from that number one record, I didn't see till like 8, 9 months. So in that moment, I can't go to my landlord and be like, hey, I have a song that's gonna do so good, and
Right.
I just need you to.
Just work with me.
I've never, in the history of living, I've never seen that happen. But a lot of times, people think that you're in a better position, so people act like you're in a better position.
Hmm.
I remember the first times, like going back home, and people be like, "Oh man, I got a spot, man. I got a happy hour spot we can go to. It's dope." And it's like, "Oh great, it's half off on drinks. That's dope." And then you get there, and the whole check is on you. So it wasn't really a discount. It wasn't
Hmm.
really a half off. You just,
Hmm.
and not knowing, like, man, if they really knew I only had $300 in my account right then,
Right.
they would approach it differently.
Hmm.
I think a lot of times we and just I think that's just human nature. Like we kind of count people's pockets.
Hmm.
We kind of start calculating what we think they got,
Right.
or we let the internet. Oh, I hate the internet with this net worth stuff. They will play
Right.
you with that, play you so hard, and you be like, I know this person ain't got that kind of money because I'm with this person every day. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because they're adding up, they're not factoring in. They don't know your situations with your management. They don't know how much you got to pay people, how much debt you have. They're just like, oh yeah, you got to be straight, and that's not always the case. But again, it's like that's the part. Sometimes you have to tell your people, hey, we're gonna be good, but you got to go let me get good.
Right. You gotta let me take care of myself in order for me to take care of you. So we got Coach Cotton off of YouTube says, how do you use influence and wisdom to educate those who may judge others who are different?
Okay. 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 How do you use wisdom to, I think the best way to do it is honestly to stand on business about who you believe in and what you believe in. You have to make internal assessments of the people around you first. And once you know what you're dealing with, then you can't allow outside people to have any kind of skewed perception because it's like, I know what this is.
Right.
So they were like, oh, yeah, your boy, every time we go out, he's drinking. Yeah, but I know that he's not an alcoholic.
Right.
I
You
know,
just end up catching that he's drinking
right.
and you're coming up with your own
You're
assumptions.
passing judgment because you're never going to see him drive drunk. You're never going to see him get belligerent at a party, but you may see him
Get a
drinking.
drink.
That ain't his vice.
Right. Ah,
And then, and then I got some friends that's like, oh, you saw him drink? Oh yeah,
they go in. They're well.
and you have to be aware. You have to be aware of that. You have to have that awareness around you so that when other people try to bring their opinions into the mix, you're not sideswiped.
Right.
That just comes from being real.
Mm,
I pride myself. I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of those people that live in any kind of delusion with anybody. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And when people show me who they are, I believe them. And it's like,
Yeah, I had to learn. I learned that like later in life. I
like,
learned that later in life. Some heartbreaks ago.
yeah. And because not everybody is going to fit into the box that you want.
Mm,
So sometimes you have to understand, okay, this person does this thing. This person likes to embellish the truth or add hype to certain stories and be realistic about it. That's what
right.
they do.
Right.
And guess what? If they were doing that at 18 and they're doing it at 30, that's who they are.
That's who they are.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be so sideswiped when they told a story to somebody else that had a little bit extra on it because you know that's what they do.
They do. They
That-
embellish.
That's what they do. And like this thing right here, it says, this is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. He says, tell me with whom you associate, and I will tell you who you are. That's a that all of these things are all like things that I've been pulling that were in the same space,
Right.
but that's the understanding, and that's why you can't take it personal if who you are is changing.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the people around you may have to change if they're not making that same change with you.
Right.
You have to be able to say, yeah, this door you can't go through with me.
Right.
And I hope that if you love me like you say you do, and you know me and know my character like you say you do, I hope you know that just because I'm saying you can't come with me here doesn't mean I won't come back for you. Because I will, but I gotta go over here. Jay-Z had to leave Dame.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I'm getting invited to do meetings with HP. I'm getting invited to meet Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And I can't be with the guy that's slapping record associates.
That's true. That's true.
That passion and fieriness got us through some doors
Right.
and kept us and got us to a certain space. And
And
it's
now
like,
we gotta evolve.
but now I want to go in these other rooms.
Right.
And I can't be thinking, man, my homie gonna go in here and act a fool. We can't.
Be telling people that like you're gonna have to be a chameleon. You're gonna have to be a chameleon. When you go to certain rooms, you're gonna have to adjust the way you do certain things because there's a different language that is being spoken in that room. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So I have a little thing. Why do you think men sometimes take criticism as a personal attack instead of an opportunity to grow?
Because they're not real with themselves. So if you if a person comes to me and says, "Yo, Sean, I really want you to take your health a little seriously, man," like and I'm like, "Oh, I'm healthy, I'm good," da, da, da. But
Yeah.
I know I'm overweight.
Yes.
I'm real with it, so I'm gonna take heed to those things. Oh,
Mhm.
me personally, I had type 2 diabetes, and I'm scared of needles. Like, so the idea of I have to inject myself 3, 4 times a day with insulin was daunting me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get online
Mm-hmm.
and be like, how do I reverse diabetes?
Okay.
And in 3 months, I reversed it because I was like, I have to make the adjustments. I can't just be like, this is who I am, or be delusional about who I am. I'm at higher risk for diabetes because I'm overweight. I'm at
Right.
higher risk for diabetes because my father was diabetic. So I have
Right.
to be aware. So I can't have Laffy Taffies and Jolly Ranchers, and I can't be delulu about that. And if a
Right.
person sees me with that and they say, hey, man, you should eat better, I can't take that personally. I have to take that as you really
Care.
see concern and see care.
Right.
But a lot of times people can't see the they can't see the flaws within themselves. So when somebody else points them out, they can't take it. So they lash out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know me, you don't know my life. Oh, I'm this, I'm not that. I know, but I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? If I see a young lady and I'm like, hey, sweetie, put this jacket on, you look too uncovered. We at church, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not judging you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to help you in this environment. And I'm also trying to help these young boys that
Right.
they trying to get saved from something, and they in here, and so that criticism is not supposed to be taken as, oh my God, you're attacking me. It's not always that. Some people don't know how to relay criticism too, and that's the other part.
Right. That, yeah, because sometimes it comes as condemnation.
And as a man, we're prideful in nature, so a lot of times when somebody comes at us and tells us something, comes at us with correction, if they don't use the right tone, then our natural reaction is defense.
Right. You're being disrespectful.
Right.
So do you feel like it's harder for a man to control his reactions or admitting that, you know, he was hurt?
Um, I mean, sometimes it can be. I mean, it's one or the other. Some men have a hard time controlling their emotions because they were never taught how to control their emotions, or they never had an example of
Right.
it. So like my father was a hothead. Fortunate for me, I looked at his hothead behavior as something I didn't want.
Right.
So I looked at it like that. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it like I don't want to be that. So working on my temperament was something that was strong for me. Some kids see their father as a hothead and they're like, I can't help it. He a hothead, I'm a hothead.
Had to. Yeah. Following in his footsteps.
And then they can't, again, it comes to just not being realistic with who you are and what you're about. And sometimes that causes that instability, people not knowing how to check their emotions because they're like, man, this is all I know. All I know is when a person says something crazy to me is to swing on them
Right.
because that's all they believe. That's what they believe being a man is. Because maybe they were taught being a man by a woman
Mm-hmm.
who said, you better not let nobody put their hands on you. Don't let nobody talk to you crazy. So now
Right.
and my mama said,
Yeah, my mama said da 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 because I
cool,
really,
mama
yeah.
said, knock you out.
Period. So what I was realizing is that, in my opinion, I see that a lot of things are taken as disrespect, and then it's automatically like, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm actually correcting you for you to be better. Or, you know, I might have said it wrong. I didn't mean to disrespect you, but because you don't know how to manage or not see what disrespect is. Well, I wasn't saying you can. I guess it has to do with self-awareness to know if somebody's disrespecting you, right? And you would also have to set boundaries for that person to know that that was disrespectful.
Absolutely. And as a man, you have to, I feel like, and that's how I filter a lot of my friendships. And some of my friendships are over 20 years long. They've been going, since I was a child. Like I have some friends that have been in my life that long, and I have some friends that even my newer friends are like 20 years, 15 years, something like that. The thing about it is this, and my pastor said this as well. If I can't correct you,
Hmm.
and you can't correct me, then we're probably not a good fit as friends.
Mm-mm.
If-
I feel the same way. And if you can't come to me with the things that you feel need to be corrected that I'm doing,
Then it's not gonna work,
it's not.
because that's again
Ownership is earned.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? I got a verse for that. Proverbs 13:20. It says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." So it's like, if I see my friend going down the path of something foolish, and I have the wisdom to say, "Hey, this is foolish. You need to change this. Stop taking your gun everywhere with you. You can't take your gun inside of a school. You can't take your guns under the bar. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna get yourself in this situation." And they're like, "Oh, I gotta have my." Da, 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 da." And it's like, yeah, I'm trying to show you how to avoid a world of trouble, either from an experience I've had or an experience I've seen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I know like the importance of telling someone, "Hey, this is for your betterment." And if they can't see that, if they just look at it as a criticism, then you don't really see the nature of who I am. I want you to be the best version of yourself, and I want to be the best version of myself. So you may come to me and say, "Well, I don't like the way that you always criticize me. I don't like the way that you always do this. I feel like it comes off this way." And so now we can come to an understanding. How would you rather me correct you?
Right.
What works for you?
Because I feel like some people they don't want to rock the boat. And I'm like, in my family, my parents are Marines. My dad is very forward. So the house has been more forward. So I'm used to friends that are like, I'm used to friends that are, hey, your breath stank. Right then and there.
Tighten
You
that
know,
up.
yeah, tighten it up. Or if they don't want to say it, they'll go and give me a peppermint or whatever. Because I know that's my friend and they have my what? Best intentions. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you look at a person and you know that they have your best intentions, whatever's coming out their mouth, most likely is not there to hurt you, is there to teach you, or there to make you aware of something. And if you take offense, I call it the spirit of offense, because some people get offended and it's like,
Mhm.
there's no reason for you to get offended. It ain't even that serious. But I do feel like sometimes people need to know that, judge the character of that person. Would she hurt my feelings?
Right.
So
Is that answer?
it's okay. I feel hurt right now. I feel triggered. Let me go and get some clarification,
Right.
because she may just be like, oh, my bad, I ain't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? I meant
Exactly.
it like this. And what's crazy is to me is that you should be at the age of 30 and up. I mean, there's younger people, but I feel like at the age of 30 up, you should know who you are,
Exactly.
and you should know who you hang around with, and you should know how your friends speak, you know?
Yeah. And if you don't, then you weren't being, again, you weren't being realistic with who you're dealing with. Like, I like, you ever seen the movie The Best Man?
Hmm.
I like Terrence Howard type of friends,
Right. Just give it to me.
because when you look back and you look at every movie, every spin-off series, it's like, man, this dude was a stand-up person when it came to his friendship.
Right.
Like, when he looked at his homie, "You need some money?" "Yeah, I need some money." "All right, come on with your broke self." Like, because
Right,
you
right,
know that but you know what you're dealing with. That's the same person that's going to show up for you, even if he may deliver his criticism to you in a way that may be a little sharp. He's not doing anything. He's not telling you anything wrong.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It didn't have a cherry on top. It wasn't packaged the way that you wanted it to be packaged. Do you think that when people take things personally, it could be linked to insecurity?
Um, absolutely. It's there's a fine. I tell people there's a fine line between insecurity and narcissism. And it can look the same if you look at it like you can look at, oh, my girl, she always think, she don't think, she always think I'm talking to somebody else, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that energy is, oh, I'm not good enough. Or sometimes that energy is, how could you talk to anybody else
Right, right,
when
right,
you have me?
right,
Right? And
right.
it's a thin line. You can both of those things,
Can be
behaviors
true.
can look the same. And a lot of times, some people's insecurity is that it's narcissism, it's self-serving. You think that I make every decision in my life based on how you feel,
Mm,
which is crazy to me.
right.
I'm living my life. I'm figuring out the best thing for myself, and you're like, oh, you don't rock with me no more because you can't. No, has nothing to do with.
Right,
It has nothing to do with you. I want to grow. It has nothing to do with how you're gonna feel about me wanting to grow.
right. And some people don't want you to grow because they don't want to grow.
They don't. So that's what I'm
Because
saying.
it's pressure.
So that's what I'm saying. It ain't insecurity all the time. Sometimes it's self-centeredness
Right.
or narcissism. It's
Hmm.
you shouldn't be better than me. You shouldn't be doing. I'm not ready to grow yet, so we're not ready to grow. That is
Right.
insane.
Yeah. I think women do that. Like they keep women single. Like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, so you shouldn't get in a relationship. So I'm gonna help you find everything wrong with that relationship. So me and you can still have F those dudes, you know what I'm saying, and
It's
drinking and stuff like that.
it's like if I got a lady, right, and my lady only got single friends,
Hmm.
that's gonna be a concern for me
Hmm.
because these are the people giving you advice. The girls who either don't want a man
Hmm.
or can't keep a man is giving your girl advice when you're not in front of her. That's gonna raise concern. Again, you are the people that you're around. So it's not that I want my girl to dismiss those friends, but I want you to have some married friends. I want you to have some i- in a relationship friends so that the point of reference isn't all from a person that don't have a man. And a lot of times I be feeling so bad because a lot of married women don't have married friends.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm gonna do a little shout out to our sponsor. This podcast, Logic Over Emotions Pod, is sponsored by Patriot Stole, a faith-based company. They would like to remind you of Mark 22:37-39, to love God Almighty with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. Please visit www.patriotstole.com. Now I got some thought-provoking questions for you.
Let's do it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
What's one emotion you struggle to express and why?
Um, I mean, I guess it would be helplessness. I mean, your helplessness. Like, I have a hard time expressing when I need help.
Mm,
Like, it would almost have to get to the most extreme thing for me to be like, I need help.
right.
Um,
Hope not on your deathbed type of thing,
no, but
close.
man, you know what, man, I can't even tell you what the problem is. I just, I've always been an independent
Hmm.
person. I figure my things out myself.
Hmm.
And Um, and I never wanted anybody to pity me or, that thing. And it's like, it's messed up because I like to bless people and I don't allow people to bless me.
Yeah, my mom says God uses people to bless people. So never deny someone's blessing because you're stopping their blessings.
Right. And I typically I've had a hard time with that. And when things get extreme for me, then it's like I have to you know, pull on people and be like, hey, this is bad. Um, and I don't know what it is about me not wanting to express that vulnerability. I came from a very
Oh, we got a caller.
okay.
Coach Cotton. She's one of our coaches for the podcast. Go ahead, Coach Cotton.
Toya V. Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
Look, you got me too with the dog on TV, and you talking so good tonight. When I tell you, I'm over here like he's dropping bars, and I don't know if these people picking it up because the way you just really demonstrated or explained how insecurities and narcissism is so closely related. I mean, you articulated it so well. It just got me super excited. I was setting up in my house, but
I appreciate it.
the conversation is amazing. And then I love the example you use. If you're with someone, with your woman, you're in a relationship, and then she got single friends, that's very concerning. So I don't even have a question. I just want to call in and say, please keep doing this. You are dropping bombs. But you
You.
can be excited because what you're saying is so true. And I love the fact that, when you guys were talking about offenses from people who's been overly offended by the truth or correction, and that's what the Bible tells us. It says, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And then how you protect your friends and your circle, but they can't go everywhere with you. So this is really good to me. And so I just want to share that with you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
All right. That was Coach Cotton. You can get some of her services. You can go on logicalpromotionspod.com. She is a personal development coach, aka also life coach. So you can check her out at Repurpose Restore. Was it Renew, Repurpose, Restore R3? That's what I call it, R3. Go check that out on the resources on Logical Promotions Pod. All right. Can pride prevent a man from admitting maybe I took that the wrong way?
Absolutely. The Bible says God hates pride,
Hmm.
right? And I think a lot of times we confuse that with, being proud of something. Like, no, God doesn't hate that. No, God doesn't hate your school pride or that stuff. No, but it's pride is a very blinding thing. Pride won't allow you to see truth, because pride is set up to protect your ego.
Hmm.
And that's what we're trying to kill every day.
Right.
Is
As
that
believers, yes,
we're,
especially.
we're trying to kill that ego, and pride protects your ego.
Mm.
So absolutely, it can make you hear things the wrong way.
And that's my next question. How do you know when something is actually about you or when you are making it about you?
Um, I think the rule of thumb with that is very simple. If the thoughts are coming from you, then it's about you, correct? So if somebody else is having concerns, difficulties, or problems with you, or want to address things or correcting you, then you can't make that about you. Naturally, you need to say, this is about them.
Yep.
Even if I'm not, even if I don't agree with what they believe, I need to listen to them and say, okay, I don't agree that I'm this way or this is happening, but I do respect your feelings and I do understand how you can take it that way or why you feel that way. But let me give you insight on what I'm thinking so that you're not drawing conclusions about what you're thinking I'm
Right.
thinking.
Thinking. Right. Yeah.
So that's how I look at that.
What are you chasing that might be costing you more than it's giving you?
What am I chasing that may be hmm, okay. I'm chasing greatness, right?
Hmm.
I I've given a lot of myself to music and songwriting, and I I it's my everything, and I want to see it to its height of heights, right? And I've had success with it. Absolutely, I've had gold records and platinum records and number one records and Grammy nominations, and all of that is beautiful. But what I'm really, you know, I have to shift what I'm chasing greatness in because that's why I feel like it's creating a thing. Music is not everything God has set out for me.
Hmm.
I have to accept that.
Right. Because
That's
you have a calling.
yeah. And my calling isn't just writing songs, but that was the vessel to get people's attention.
Mm.
And so now I'm in a space now where it's like chasing greatness ends up hurting me because I'm working with people that I don't really want to work with because I think they're going to position me for greatness. I'm allowing artists that don't align with how I operate and who I am dictate my life because I'm chasing greatness in this one thing. And I have to be able to let go and show that I can be great in other things that aren't just related to music.
Mm. So, what does accountability look like for you now?
I will have to pride myself in saying that I've always been a pretty accountable person. I, I'm not a person that
You don't move without intention. I can say that from our friendship. You always move with intention and purpose.
I just don't see the point like and and hiding truth. And so when people, if I do something wrong, I have no problem saying I did something wrong. I will correct it. I won't do it again. I'll do better. Or I don't feel like that was wrong. Yeah, and I've never had a problem with that. I have no problem owning up to what I've done or what I haven't done.
Okay. What's one belief about being a man that you had to unlearn?
Um, that just because men are logical, that we're not emotional. We are emotional. What drives us to be protective, to be provisional, to be leaders is our emotional connection to things. I think men are way more emotional than they're presented. And, I came up with a lot of strong women in my family. Oh, be tough, don't cry, don't be this, don't be that. And it's like, ah, I wish you didn't tell me that. I wish that I could know that it's okay to cry. I didn't want to cry at my dad's funeral
Hmm.
because I was like, if I cry, everybody gonna cry.
Right.
But that's the time to cry.
Right. That's the time to mourn the
And I
most.
and I was
Yeah.
15 thinking like that.
Oh,
I
wow.
was a boy, you know what I'm saying? And I was masking what I was feeling to serve others. Like I wish I knew earlier in life, like that ain't the move.
Mm. Okay. What happens inside a man's mind? between the moment something hurts him and the moment he decides whether to speak about it or stay silent?
I think what goes on in a man's mind is if I on it, who are they gonna really care?
Mm,
What does it matter? If I tell my woman, man, my check ain't giving what I needed to give and I'm stressed out, is it gonna stop her from
judging
needing
you.
groceries,
Hmm.
needing the things she needs? You know, so you get into the space of like, it don't she don't care, or they don't, or this person won't care. So why stress myself or make myself vulnerable, showing them that I'm in need, when it's like all they're gonna want me to do is figure it out. So a lot of times that's why men internalize stuff. They're like, I gotta figure it out anyway.
So no need to talk about
Why
it.
talk about it? Who cares?
Dang. Do I have something for that? I don't know. I know. Okay. If a man was listening right now and feels mentally exhausted but doesn't know how to ask for help, what would you tell him?
Um, there's the importance, there's a phrase, the kindness of strangers. I think it's very important that men, especially black men, celebrate mental health like rich white people do. We have to be proud. A rich white person will be happy to, oh, you have to talk to Mr. Bernstein. He's my therapist. He's the best. Like, we be like, oh man, I ain't talking to, like, we need to talk to somebody. And sometimes it's just best to talk to somebody that doesn't have a bias, that doesn't know you, that doesn't have a judgment to pass on you, can just listen to what you're saying. You'll be amazed at how freeing it is to be able to talk to someone about how you're feeling without a point of reference, without them being able to be like,
You
oh,
last year,
yeah.
you this. Well, I can change my
Oh,
mind.
oh, you feel bad about cheating, but we was at the strip club 3 weeks ago, bro. You was like, nah, like, yeah, that I felt bad then. I didn't know how to express it. So I think it's important to give that men talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody you know. Talk to somebody because you'll see it changes your life. I'm in a group of my church called Made Men, and I did it 2 years in a row. I'm going to do it again next year. It's the most it's the most amazing experience to just hear that what you're going through, other men are going through. We only get to talk probably a minute and 30 seconds because a bunch of us, but it's like that minute and 30 seconds, you look forward to that every Monday or whatever day you call it. You look forward to that because it becomes, that outlet becomes everything. So talk to people. That's what I would tell any man listening to this.
In a safe space. Or come to Logical Emotions
Uh,
Pod.
oh yeah, or listen to people.
Yes. Okay. So, Mr. Sean Mcmillion has these two wonderful books. See, I bought this book like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I had as you can see, a female was reading. Okay. Yes. So go ahead and tell us about these books.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna be real honest. This first book was because I had people that kept hitting me in my DMs like, "Oh, can you help me with songwriting? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?" And I was like, I can't. Like, I have so much going on. If I start helping everybody, I won't be able to help myself. How can I work if I'm teaching everybody?
Right.
So originally, I just started writing down things to tell people how I approach songs, how I approach songwriting, and that became what this was. It's just a 15-day guide on how to write an R&B song. This is the meat and potatoes. This I really dive into my process. I dive into how you can create your own process. And this is for the preservation of writing R&B music because that is something that I love with my heart.
Yes, yes. Because I mean, August Alsina had a lot of hits. He had a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
hits.
we had 19 gold records, 13 platinum, 5 number ones. We ran it up, and through it all, I got a chance to work with some of the best and brightest in the R&B game. And now I just want to give back to the next generation of songwriters to show them just my process. It doesn't make it right or wrong, but it's my process. Show them a way to become better writers and keep the genre alive.
All right, so let people know where they can get your books
You can get
and how
this.
they can follow you.
You can get this on Amazon. You can get this on Apple Books. Um, You can follow me at Write Sean Penn, WRITESEANPEN. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter. Um, for a 42-year-old man, I'm on it enough, but I'm getting better at it. But yeah, definitely support. I have an ebook as well, and I promise you, you will come out after reading this a better something.
Well, Patriot Stoll wants to say, welcome to the family. So, it's part of the new merch. I don't know which one you want because they're made differently.
Okay, which one I want? Oh, this one to the left.
This
Right,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Let's see what we're
Patreon
doing.
thing, you're part of the family.
I got headphones on, but I want y'all to see the swag.
Thank you.
To people that's live with me, see the swag. This is what
Yes,
it
see
is.
the swag. Yes, we have bucket hats with regular canvas or foam. I mean, not foam, but regular trucker hats. And then we have bucket hats, y'all. Look at the lovely colors. And then we have some shirts, y'all. Make sure you go to Logic Over Emotions Pod and go get some shirts, some gear. And then we have the pocket ones.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you check it out. Go to www.logicovermotionspod.com. Those that are online, please follow, subscribe, and turn those notifications. We go live every Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. So I will see you next week. But one thing that I want you to say is men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide. So my call to action is please, any man that you love or you care about, ask them if they're okay. And if they're not, let them know it's okay not to. If you're having any thoughts of suicide or any life crisis in the United States, you can text 988 and there will be a professional to help you. Logic Over Emotions has a resource page. Just click on logicoveremotionspod.com. Click on mental health resource pages, and there is a gang of help there. We also have recommended books. We're gonna go ahead, even if you need to write a song to help your life, okay, to get it out, because I do think like songwriting is a part of therapy as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So check this out. Go to the page, and I will see you next week. Love y'all. Bye.